Welcome to The Explainer, where today we are diving into what really looks like tech's biggest showdown, AI versus crypto. But as you're about to see, their whole relationship might be a lot more complicated and way more cooperative than you think. All right, let's just jump right in with this line from our source material, because it's a pretty bold claim. This idea really captures the vibe in the investment world right now, that AI is this massive vacuum, just sucking up every last drop of available money. And, this really sets the stage for what feels like a major conflict. It looks like a classic zero-sum game, where if one wins, the other one has to lose. We're going to dig into this intense rivalry, with AI and crypto fighting for the exact same pool of investment cash. So first up, let's just look at the evidence. Why does it feel so overwhelmingly like AI is just winning this thing right now? Well, the feeling out there is that crypto is really struggling, and it's because all the momentum, all the hype, and all the money, it's all shifting over to artificial intelligence. I mean, AI isn't some far-off promise anymore, right? It's happening now, and investors are practically tripping over each other to get a piece of the action. And we're not just talking about one superstar company here. No. This is like a gold rush across the whole sector. We're seeing huge amounts of cash just flooding into the big tech titans. Alphabet, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta. And it's lighting a fire under the entire AI ecosystem. But to really get a handle on the scale of this whole thing, we've got to move past the feelings and look at the actual hard numbers. So let's use Google as a case study to see what this so-called capital drain really looks like. Okay, so take Google's recent run. It's just been this perfect storm of success, right? They launched their super impressive Gemini AI model, their stock price more than doubled in just 5 months, and get this, they even got a massive $4.3 billion investment from the legend himself, Warren Buffett. And this is the result of all that momentum. Since its recent low point, Google, by itself, has added over $2 trillion in market cap. Just let that number sink in. $2 trillion. It's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. Now, let's try to put that into perspective. Let's compare Google's gain to the total value of the entire crypto market if you take out Bitcoin. Right now, that number is sitting at a combined $1.22 trillion. And this is where it gets really wild. This chart just lays it all out in plain sight. The recent gain from just one single AI company is almost double the value of the entire crypto market, minus Bitcoin. I mean, that is thousands and thousands of projects completely dwarfed by the rise of just one player. It's just a staggering comparison. So you see data like that and you think, okay, case closed, right? It seems like the story is already written. Crypto's future is looking pretty grim. Well, hold on. This is where the whole thing takes a really fascinating and pretty unexpected turn. Which brings us to the big one, the question on every crypto investor's mind. After everything we've just seen, is it game over for crypto? Is it cooked? The short answer, and this might actually surprise you, is a simple, straightforward no. The story is definitely not over. Okay, so the longer answer gets into this idea called the K-shaped economy. Just picture the letter K, right? You've got one arm going up and the other going down. That's the idea, an economic split where some parts are soaring while others are falling. And the irony here is that AI's dominance might be the very thing creating this exact environment and opening up a pretty surprising path for crypto to thrive. So here's how this crazy hidden partnership could actually work. Follow this chain reaction with me. First, as AI gets adopted more and more, it starts to weaken the traditional job market. Then, to fight that, governments feel the pressure to keep interest rates low, which makes it cheap to borrow money. This floods the system with capital, cash that's gotta go somewhere. And where does a lot of that money go when rates are low? It starts chasing bigger returns in riskier assets, and that is exactly where crypto lives. So, in this really strange twist, the rise of AI could actually be indirectly fueling the next crypto boom. All right, so let's get to our final section here and figure out what all this means. How does this build into a clear, actionable takeaway for anyone trying to navigate these two massive trends? This quote from our source material really just hits the nail on the head. It's a great reminder that we need to break out of that either-or thinking that we started with. And here it is, the ultimate conclusion. Turns out, this might not be a zero-sum game after all. The rise of one doesn't have to mean the fall of the other. The smartest play might not be about picking a winner, but about realizing that both of these things can actually win in the world that the other one is helping to build. And that kind of leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. Maybe we've been looking at this whole AI versus crypto thing all wrong from the start. What if this epic battle for our money is actually a hidden, indirect partnership, where each of these technologies is shaping a future where the other one can absolutely flourish?